Coming up, we join South Africa City volunteers as they hold 11 winter distributions in Bloemfontein. And we find out why the 7th lunar month is not the ghost month, but a month of auspiciousness. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. We kick off today's program in South Africa and join city volunteers who continue to distribute aid to impoverished families to help them get through the harsh winter days. City volunteers in Bloemfontein have since mid-June carried out 11 distributions across schools and communities, helping some 6,000 residents in total. And this year they were joined by many local volunteers who, despite not having much themselves, were all willing to help those less fortunate. Here in South Africa, despite the cold, people of this rainbow nation still keep up their warm and optimistic nature. As they look forward to Tsiji's annual winter aid distribution, Bloemfontein's residents express their anticipation by singing Amitabha. With the arrival of winter each year, city volunteers carry out relief distributions in poor communities, even if it means traveling 2 hours on foot to get there.
We thank for what they do for us. We think they can come and give love to us every time. But we have to show them that we need these things. We are desperately need these things.
Among the troops of volunteers this year are many local volunteers. Although not materially affluent, they willingly extended their love to others, just like Mtabi Singh, who donated a coin bank to Tsiji.
Last year I was here and I heard about the bamboo coin bank. The volunteers said that small change can also do great deeds, so I'm donating my year of savings. I hope this money can go to help those in need.
Perhaps it's this inspiration which led others, upon learning that they too can become givers, to gladly donate their spare change.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
This year, Tsiji's aid included rice, biscuits, warm clothes and blankets, and senior residents received an additional hand-sewn bag for their supplies. With Tsiji's aid, it is certain that these local residents will get through the cold winter with love warming their hearts.
Thank you, Amitabha. Thank you, Amitabha.
Moving to Malaysia, Kedah City volunteers recently visited care recipient Zainom bin Ali's family to help them clean up their living environment just in time for the Eid al-Fitr festival, an important religious holiday celebrated by Muslims. Deeply moved by the volunteers' gesture, a neighbor decided to give a helping hand.
Today, Kedah City volunteers in Malaysia are here to help Zainom bin Ali's family clean up their living environment in time for Eid al-Fitr, an important religious holiday celebrated by Muslims. Every day, 76-year-old Zainom bin Ali not only has to look after his 42-year-old mentally challenged son, but also his wife, who suffers from a mental disorder. Despite the hardship, the senior insists on personally taking care of them.
I didn't send them to a nursing home because my son has mobility problems and needs someone to feed him every day. I contact my wife there because she has bad eyesight.
8 years ago, local Tsiji volunteers decided to take this family under its wing. Since then, their lives have changed for the better, with Zainom bin Ali's wife starting to embrace the volunteers' love and care.
She used to scream at us when we came. After countless visits, now she greets us happily.
Touched by the volunteers' selfless dedication, neighbor Zakaria bin Maud decided to help out. He says he has treated this family just like his own.
He's really old. It is really sad if we don't help him.
Other than tidying up their living environment, Tsiji volunteers also thoughtfully prepare new clothing. Now, thanks to the volunteers' love and care, this family can happily celebrate Eid al-Fitr.
To record Tsiji's philosophy and humanitarian spirit, Tsiji established a Jingsi Dharma lineage and Tsiji Path history collection and training center last year. Besides gathering the footage of the Buddhist NGO in Taiwan, the foundation staff also hope to document Tsiji's development around the globe, thus making their first stop at Singapore, where they shared with the volunteers there of their mission and goals. In order to document Tzu Chi's history, a Jingsi Dharma Lineage and Tzu Chi Path History Collection and Training Center was established. The editing director, Hong Shuzhen, first leads her team to Singapore.
It would be a pity if we didn't record the good things that have happened over time. There would be no witness to history.
To gather together Tzu Chi's 20 years of work in Singapore, volunteers and foundation staff collect and review previous work and also discuss areas of improvement.
We looked in the previous yearbooks and found there isn't much of what we need, and the information isn't complete. Most describe the event, but not the facts.
In the two-day event, volunteers come to understand the difficulty behind putting together the Buddhist NGO's history, and that they must begin right away to avoid losing any further information.
This is something not to be delayed. We should take on this responsibility and speed up our pace.
Tzu Chi volunteers and foundation staff are united as one in their effort of researching and documenting the organization's work for future generations. Staying in Asia but moving to Taiwan, 1,300 Tzu fathers and either mothers from across the island gathered at the Banqiao Jingsi Hall in New Taipei City to share their experiences on how to better act as mentors to guide students through every stage of their lives. Let's take a look.
Here at the Banqiao Jinsi Hall, New Taipei City, 1,300 volunteers of the Chichen Ida Association seized the opportunity to share their experiences with fellow volunteers. At the workshop, Professor Zheng Hanrong pointed out that examples are always more effective than precepts.
Ida mothers have to be aware of their own dress and bearing as well as their manners so as to serve as examples for our children to learn from.
Chichen fathers and Ida mothers serve as mentors, bridging the students' relationship with parents and teachers. Instructor Zheng Yuzhen shares some tips to teach volunteers on how to better carry out that role.
It's good to see that Tzu Chi volunteers are always willing to help other people. However, we sometimes pay less attention to what they truly need. If we can handle it properly, we can have a better relationship with teachers and students at school. If we find anything in that class that is appropriate, we just let it go.
Chichen fathers and Ida mothers seize the opportunity to exchange ideas and give each other encouragement.
Like what Master Zheng Yan says, as you serve as a Tzu Chi mom or dad, you have to be responsible and passionate about fulfilling your duties. As long as you realize your importance to the students' lives, you will be more active in your care for the students.
Education brings hope to our next generation. We hope Chichen fathers and Ida mothers will continue to work as mentors, guiding the students in their lives. After today's event, may you guys bring wisdom back home and leave worries behind.
Thanks to the dedication and effort of Tzu Chi volunteers, countless students have been able to walk the path of Tzu Chi's humanitarian education and become future pillars of society.
To give those with disabilities a chance to work, Taiwan's government has set up a law which states that for every 67 employees, companies will need to hire one employee with physical disability. However, currently there are some 7,000 companies in Taiwan that have not abided by this law. Furthermore, statistics also show that 13.85% of those with disabilities have faced workplace discrimination. In our next report, we meet Gao Weijun, who was one of the lucky ones and has seen her life change for the better thanks to the help of her employer. Here's more.
This is Gao Weijun, the first person with a disability to apply for homeschool in Taiwan. When Gao was 12 years old, a spinal cord disease left her paralyzed from the waist down.
I was terrified when it happened. I didn't know what was going on because I was still very young. I remember telling myself that everything will be okay. I will be healthy again.
Back then, school facilities could not accommodate Gao's needs. Therefore, she was homeschooled until university. With good performance at school, Gao Weijun was offered a position at a company and started her career. To meet her special needs, Gao's employer also turned the office into a disabled-friendly space. With over 10 years of work experience, Gao has become the manager of the same company and has received recognition for her hardworking attitude.
She is willing to take any job, and everyone trusts her. As a person with a disability, the good work she has achieved over the years is very impressive.
Touched by her optimistic and brave mindset, 3 years ago, Xiao Renwei, who is Gao's co-worker, decided to ask her hand in marriage.
She's a very hardworking person, and I'm very proud of her. I don't think I could be as successful as her if it was me with the disability.
Thanks to the help of companies, handicapped people such as Gao Weijun are well taken care of.
There are many social responsibilities that we need to cover, so I want to encourage other businesses to do their share and shoulder some of these responsibilities. As for our company, we focus on giving those with physical disabilities a chance to work.
I think these people are good examples for all of us. Their stories remind us to work even harder.
For Gao Weijun, the key to success and happiness is not to think about her physical disability.
I want to encourage everyone to become more open-minded and work hard. Most importantly is to seize every chance to improve your own skills and abilities.
With the help of society and her own determination, Gao has become a successful businesswoman. She hopes that in the future, society can continue to give those with disabilities a chance to fulfill their dreams.
As we have officially entered the 7th lunar month, city volunteers around the island have begun organizing blessing ceremonies in their local communities to promote vegetarianism and filial piety. In Tuta, New Taipei City, city volunteers held a blessing ceremony at a local high school where some 700 residents arrived to take part. Meanwhile, their counterparts in various districts of Taipei also came together to celebrate the auspicious month in different ways. Despite the hot weather, city volunteers in Taipei's Siling district worked tirelessly to decorate the stage and ready the venue for the blessing ceremony to be held later at night. As the blessing ceremony is held each year, volunteers put their creativity to the test to design fun and educational activities, as well as invite DaAi TV program hosts and volunteers to share the benefits of vegetarianism.
Having been on a vegetarian diet for over 2 years now, my asthma has not relapsed at all, and all my body aches have disappeared too.
I have had asthma for many years now, and my wife is a diabetic patient. Since she went meatless, I followed her. In addition to the exercise I've been doing, my asthma symptoms are gone, and over the past few years, I've become really healthy.
As most citizens are now more conscious of their health, one insurance company invited city volunteers from the Songshan district to promote and share the benefits of a meatless diet with their staff.
If we can teach the sales staff city's philosophy as well as vegetarian and recycling practices, then they can spread the love forward, letting others know the benefits of vegetarianism and environmentalism.
City volunteers also prepared over 100 vegetarian lunch boxes, so staff members can get a taste of how delicious meatless dishes can be.
I prefer natural food with no heavy seasoning, nutritious but not flavorful. Whatever is edible must all be delicious.
From a health perspective, a vegetarian diet is good. I hope if you can't commit to a vegetarian diet, at least try to purify your mind.
A vegetarian diet not only helps safeguard the planet, but is also good for our body. One may wonder where the custom of burning joss paper comes from.
It was really inspiring. For example, at first, a woman who wanted to earn money thought that burning just paper will make her rich.
Here at Tutan district of New Taipei City, city volunteers hold a blessing ceremony at a local high school where nearly 700 residents arrived to take part. Among them, one participant is here for the second consecutive year.
The atmosphere here is really lively and warm. It makes us really happy.
In recognizing Tzu Chi's philosophy, members of the public all vow to change their old habits to make a difference. The first day of the 7th lunar month is the start of what is traditionally known as the Ghost Month. However, a scholar, after years of research, has found that this rather foreboding interpretation of the 7th lunar month was in fact the work of Ming Dynasty Emperor Zhu Yuanzhang. Knowing that this month was auspicious and hoping to reserve its benefit for himself, Emperor Zhu sent his people to spread the idea that this month was in fact unlucky. Today, it has been one of Master Zheng Yan's major goals to change the public's negative or superstitious perception of this month and show them that the 7th lunar month is in fact a month to celebrate gratitude and filial piety. In the first of our series of reports on this topic, we investigate the history of the 7th lunar month and what it has come to mean for the Taiwanese today.
The 7th lunar month is also commonly referred to as Ghost Month, and many activities during this time are considered to be inauspicious. However, one scholar on the matter says this erroneous perception was the result of Ming Emperor Zhu Yuanzhang's lies.
Zhu Yuanzhang at that time wanted to be the only one to enjoy the benefits of the month, so he sent out soldiers dressed in priest robes to sell talismans, and the talismans all proclaimed the 7th lunar month to be an inauspicious month.
The 7th lunar month is actually more auspicious than others.
From ancient times, the emperor would be buried in the 7th lunar month as it was considered a very auspicious month, so emperors who had passed away would be temporarily interred until the 7th lunar month, when they would then be properly buried.
An expert on popular customs, Yan Rongfeng spent many years researching the tradition and discovered that the idea of the 7th lunar month being inauspicious was a ruse perpetuated by Ming Emperor Zhu Yuanzhang for his own benefit.
Records clearly show that the word ghost was never used in reference to the 7th lunar month before the Song dynasty.
However, this falsehood has bedeviled Taiwan for the past 600 years.
七月是吉祥月，七月是孝亲月，人人呐、能在这七月呢，能斋戒。
It has been one of Master Zheng Yan's missions to promote the message that the 7th lunar month is instead a month in which to be thankful and filial.
In Buddhism, this month emphasizes not universal salvation, but filial piety.
The Hungry Ghost Festival during the 7th lunar month actually originated from the story Mu Lian rescues his mother.
Mu Lian's mother had fallen into the realm of the hungry ghosts. The Buddha then instructed him that on the 15th day of the lunar month, which was the last day of their rainy season retreat, on this most auspicious of days, to make an offering to 100 monks. He did so, and from the merry-go-round, he was able to liberate his mother.
The Chinese world has taken the Confucian reverence for ancestors, the Buddhist emphasis on filial piety, and the Taoist idea of forgiveness from officials, and combined them together.
In August of 2011, during the Water Repentance musical, 1,008 on-stage volunteers and several hundred Dharma masters off-stage came together to celebrate the Dharma during Ghost Month.
The love of the volunteers spread to all corners. Their spirit was truly moving.
Baohua Temple's Children Buddhist Camp is also held in the 7th lunar month.
We want to ensure that their hearts will be deeply rooted in love when they grow up, and in that great love they will be able to distinguish truth from falsehood.
Using love to create blessings and good deeds to stop disasters, Tzu Chi volunteers hope to transmit the message that the true meaning of the Pudu ceremony is no other than great love.
In our continuing report on the 7th lunar month, we meet Tzu volunteer Zhou Yifang, who used to be a nightclub and casino owner and an addict to alcohol, gambling and meat. However, after watching a DaAi drama, she was inspired to join Tzu. Apart from getting rid of all her bad habits and adopting a vegetarian diet, Zhou even changed careers and is now running a women's footwear store in the market. Despite her limited income, Zhou has found peace and contentment in her life.
来看卖哦，那100，那包的，美女看看哦，这边还有包的啊，大糕，啊个嫩。
Inside a traditional market, Tzu volunteer Zhou Yifang is busy attending to customers at her footwear store.
啊，伊这种完全袂，你看伊穿起来，你较感觉较细。
Despite not making much, Zhou feels content in running her small business.
Losing some 10 million new Taiwanese dollars over a night was normal. I could even stay up for 3 consecutive nights without rest. When I woke up, I was surrounded by gambling and alcohol. When I managed my nightclub, I drank all the time. My body always smelled of alcohol. Whether it was fish or chicken, as long as it was meat, I would love to eat it. I just didn't like eating vegetables. I could eat a whole chicken all by myself. I couldn't live without meat. One time I was going to undergo gallstone surgery at a Tzu hospital, and I realized that I was required to eat vegetarian food for a week. Therefore, on the night before the surgery, I went to the night market and consumed as much meat as I could.
Once living a life full of meat, gambling, smoking and drinking, Zhou Yifang changed for the better because of a DaAi drama series.
After I watched Teacher Ma Wenzhong's story, I decided to join Tzu. I saw that Teacher Ma continued to give without asking for anything in return, even though he was handicapped. His spirit really moved me and inspired me to follow in his footsteps. Since I'm not disabled and able to give, I should live my life in a more meaningful way.
Parents should be a role model for the children. If children see us gambling, smoking and eating betel nut, they will do the same after they grow up. So we decided to close down our nightclub and casino.
With the support of her husband, Zhou closed down her old business and started adopting vegetarianism. She transcribes scriptures as a way to bring peace to her heart. Now Zhou's life has changed for the better.
As long as you are willing, nothing is impossible. However, if you are not ready, even possible things can be impossible.
We go back to Taiwan at the end of the show to encourage members of the public to go on a vegetarian diet and eat at home instead of buying takeaways. Tainan Tzu volunteers made delicious dishes using Tzu's instant noodles and grain powder and invited their fellow volunteers for a tasting. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.